Live. I'm live. Okay. Let me know if everything is coming through 5x5, as in okie dokie, as in A-OK. I think I'm going to start out. I don't have any background music playing. It's just the sound of my voice that has brought you here. With this is a World War III chill stream number 001. And also I used as the thumbnail, Mr. Kennedy, Bobby, as the people are calling him. What do you guys think? Wow, there were a lot of people there at Bobby's speech. So we have like death and destruction, the chance of apocalypse, babies being carried out of ambulances. I mean, stuff I wouldn't even want to show you because Israel is striking back. And then I don't know, it's hard to keep up on all the rumors. Hamas, I'll give you the news on it. Do you want to start? I thought I'd start you off with from the Kennedy speech, which I listened to most of it, and I listened to his. Oh my God, that is funny. XRP as a cryptocurrency is a bit of a cult. I'm looking at the. I'll show you what I'm looking at because I'm gonna get you guys excited about the possibility of an independent candidate who 33 minutes into this video announced that he is running independent, and they switch camera angles and show the really presidential shot of him. So I'll show you that. These are people at the rally, but yeah, that's a big crowd, right? That's a sizable crowd. But you see this guy in the XRP hat? You see this guy right here? Whoop, whoop. He's got an XRP hat on. That's like a conspiracy. It's like conspiracy coin. Gosh, it's crazy. When I got into doing conspiracy theories, I would have never imagined the future would be full of more conspiracy theories than I can shake a stick at. But now we have real news too. So we have this guy's a real candidate. The news I did about Kennedy at first is I was like, he's never going to win as a Democrat because Democrats hate him. So when he was running as a Democrat, I said, well, there's no chance. He's not going to beat Joe Biden. Besides that, the primaries are rigged. They have been in the past. They were rigged for Hillary Clinton. They were rigged for Joe Biden. So why would the Democratic establishment, who doesn't like Bobby Kennedy, give him a pass, and let him actually get some votes? But I don't think he would have the support generally from the Democrat Party either. The Democrat Party is way different. I was talking to somebody today, though, who registered as a Democrat in California just to vote in the primary, which you have to do here. I don't know what they let you do in your state, but we have to register if we want to cast our vote and for our vote to count as Californians. We have to make sure we're registered to the party whose primary we want to vote in. So it's kind of weird. Like, you'd like to just register as an independent and then vote for whichever candidate you like the best. The American system, it's a two-party system. It's not perfect. It's not good. But could it be better is the question. Is is there something better than our government? Really is the question. I'd like to know the answer to. I don't know. Sometimes I like the parliamentary system better, but they end up with terrible leaders who aren't even voted for. And because of the system in Germany, they actually use the political system to put Hitler in power, actually, through a democratic process. And then probably a false flag when they burned down the Reichstag or whatever it's called. The Reichstag, I think is. Everybody always likes to show off their prowess with languages and stuff. The Reichstag. Okay, let me open this with a song from Bobby Kennedy's announcement. And welcome. Thanks for joining me. I'm doing my best not to cause the apocalypse, given my impression that everything is generated from our beings. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? That we actually help generate this reality. And so, wait, what does that mean, though? Is it our fault? Because that's what these psychics say. Starting at our heart, we create an energetic field around us, which pulses and vibrates. And it's the shape of a donut or a torus. The earth also has a torus or toroid shaped field around it, which may also breathe. And maybe our sun has something else which may also breathe. So just how is that? Is that good? Is everything cool? Does the air feel good? Do you feel human? Do you feel like you belong here? Those are important things. I'll tell you, you do. You do. You're an important part of this reality. I've told you that before. If your consciousness, I'm concerned. Yeah, like if your consciousness ceases to exist, then I believe, poof, we are all gone. So because of that belief, though, I believe consciousness carries on and is separate from us. And I was reading something today. I have like a positive post. I think it's important in times like these for us to at least try our best to be good humans and also make sure our karma is as clean as it can be, because we don't want bad things to happen to us, because we have free choice. God gave us that, but then he gave us consequences. So I've been learning about that. I've been studying that myself, so you wouldn't have to go through what I went through, and then I could impart that knowledge to you and just say, okay, well, here's what's up, and here's what's up, and here's what can happen to you. There are consequences when you do the wrong thing or you listen to the wrong voice in your head. So you got to learn to listen. Which voice in your head is the one you want to pay attention to? Particularly when they have things like voice to skull technology, which I believe might be used in things like these, to be honest. Otherwise, I don't understand how they create them. They have something called Dolby Atmos now. I talk about this a lot, but that's because I listen to headphones a lot and modern music and remixed, remastered classic music like the Stone Roses or Pink Floyd or basically everybody, Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber. They create soundscapes, I believe, through something like what could be called voice to skull technology, except you're actually wearing a device in your ears and it can't be done. It's done with the device somehow. That's just a theory I'm working on. Let me play you just a pretty, I thought this is like a Broadway actress or somebody I don't know singing America the Beautiful. We'll start off with that, okay? Then maybe an intro.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plain. America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country love and mercy more.
I'm laughing because I thought this one guy, when I saw him scan the crowd, I thought this guy here was doing a Heil, like putting his arm out like this. And maybe it was a plant, that they wanted to get some Hitler. But he's holding the phone. This guy here, that's what I was looking at. He's got his arm out like this. And then a phone in. And then I told Katie, and she was like, oh, Jesus did that too. Healing hands, right? So it's not always a Heil. I don't know. Should we try to bring that back? Should we try to bring back dressing up as a Nazi for Halloween as being an okay thing to do? Or dressing up as Hitler, let's say? I don't know. Is it truly distasteful?
Country love and mercy more than life. America, may God thy gold refine till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with
torture. I don't know. Not everybody thinks she's awesome, but that's okay.
To shine and see.
There you go. Hey, it's good that you made an effort, right?
Okay, God bless you.
For Bobby, look at that, man. There's people out there with big like white people with giant hair in the crowd. But there's a mixed crowd, yeah. And it's not like this guy. Like that's like what decade did he time travel from with that outfit and stuff? You see the guy I'm talking about over here in the corner? He's funny. I like looking at people and making fun of them because whatever. What else are you going to do? Take everybody. So anyway, yeah, that's JFK. I'll give you the JFK. It doesn't matter, does it? I can do the news however, whatever speed or format I want to. I can play music for you, and which for some of you might have been torture. A lot of people wearing hats. Looks like one guy's got an armband. People holding up cameras. People of different walks of life. I was watching something where an old guy was talking politically to people who are in camps, like, homeless camps, because we have a lot of those too. And those aren't all bad people. We don't demonize homeless people here. That's for sure. Because Jesus would not do that for sure. Jesus would talk to the people. He said the last will be first. So that's where we're at. Right. So I'll play you the part of his speech that I thought resonated. And I'll play the intro when I feel like it too. Buddha Girl says, I was on the fence on Bobby and now I am full on RFK. That's good news. Katie says that we might make promotional materials. We could. It's possible for RFK. If I'll say this, he's not perfect. He came out, you know what happened? Is he came out after this Gaza stuff and just said, oh, Israel, 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 basically. That's what happened. And a lot of people like Kim Iverson turned on him. She was like, "Oh my God." But I'm real, like I ride the fence. I don't have any opinions. My opinion is that yeah, like it's the thing is that things that Israel has done over the last 50 years, which is, they're saying this is like the 50th year anniversary of this Yom Kippur war or what have you, is like a lot of those things could be reported on in the same breathless way that this attack was reported on. But on the other hand, I really don't like him going after that concert, that rave or party in the desert. That's not cool. Everybody was probably on drugs and stuff and having a good time, trying to raise their vibrations, probably, and maybe like somewhat of a vampire or cult type way. But still, trying to be good people, trying to dance, groove, get groovy to like trance music, which is scary when you think about it. When you're actually listening to something called trance, which could maybe put you in a trance, and then you dance, like you're in a trance. That's a good one. I like that. Dance like you're in a trance. Yeah, sometimes I am, to be honest with you. I can't tell you the difference. I honestly can't between when I'm speaking from a separate entity or when I'm speaking as myself, or if there's any difference. I know there probably isn't. All right, so here the lighting wasn't perfect, so this is like what my screenshot looked like. I just find it interesting the way numbers work, that it was like really the speech hit the main point right in the 34th minute, after the 34th minute, but after 33 minutes. And then the camera switches at about 33 into this production, into the glamour shot of him with the gold eagle somewhere near him. I wish I could have figured out the words to what that lady was singing. She said something about gold. I can't remember what. Gold and silver are up today. Hey, if you want to think about investments, like the stock market didn't do bad today. Cryptocurrency is down a little. I don't know what the war means for cryptocurrency, but gold and silver were up today for those of you who are stackers. And I'm going to read a post if I get to it from a stacker. So here you go. I'm going to play you some of Kennedy's speech here, where he just talks about, we have two parties, right? And I told you, like, look around, see if there's a better system. I'd like to have more choices. And yeah, to be honest, at the time, and maybe still, I felt like Bernie Sanders, back when he was robbed of the nomination by Joe Biden. Well, no, I'm sorry, by the Democrat Party. I thought it would have been cool if he ran as an independent, and I thought maybe people would really like that would be the time, But Bernie is a sellout, so he didn't go down that road, He's a sellout to the party still. He still is. He's still a complete sellout. But that would have been a chance where he could have run independent, and I thought he would have gotten a lot of support from the Trump people. Like, a lot of people went from Bernie to Trump. That's what happened, genuinely. And probably if you look at them as a unit, it was probably enough to swing the election in 2016, the election against Hillary Clinton. 2016, when the world might have ended. There was a supermoon that month. Yeah, there was a supermoon, I think on the 14th or something. Yeah, it was a close election, but Donald Trump won. For people who think elections are always rigged, always try to never forget. Try to never forget that Donald Trump won once. And now everything since then has been the system, basically the entire establishment, trying to make sure that never happens again. So never forget that it did happen in what they called an election. So when you think that elections don't work, or that they're all rigged, or that there's no chance, remember in 2016, nobody thought Trump was going to win, except if you were listening to this show and then you thought he had a chance. They wanted to write him off, write him out of history. So, but he really genuinely won. So, all right. Anyway, I'll play. This is when he makes the announcement about running independent. I'll see how much of this I play. Hopefully you guys can hear it well. I think I have the volume turned up.
This country is ready for a history-making change. They are ready to reclaim their freedom, their independence. And that's why I'm here today. I'm here to declare myself an independent candidate
Haha. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. It was funny on my end, but I guess I was muted. Nah, what a shame. What am I going to do? That destroys the podcast. What was I talking about? Oh my God. I was talking about something really interesting. How long was I muted for? Do you guys know? Can you tell me how long I was muted for? Then I can try to recreate whatever happened there. It would take a very smart lip reader. I was talking about how that happened at 33 minutes and 30 seconds into the production. That's what I was talking about. Right at that moment. 29:30 right there. That's what I was talking about. Okay, I'll re-educate you, and the podcast will be screwed up, but you can fast forward. That's the good thing about the podcast. It's a good time for me to plug the podcast for you audiophiles if you just want to listen. That's what I do. I just listen. I don't want to look at myself. This is what I said is at exactly 33 minutes and 30 seconds into the speech, it switches to this presidential view where you see the gold emblem of the eagle, which is basically like the Nazi eagle. I'm not sure exactly when we adopted that symbolism, but the Nazi eagle and all of the birds. This is what I was talking about when there was silence. The birds are representations of the phoenix rising from the ashes. So then I said, this cycle of, oh wow, I went into a bunch of stuff about the whole universe. Everything is a cycle of creative destruction. And this is what the economists believe. And this is where we are. We're at the fourth industrial revolution or the fourth turning or what have you. Things need to be destroyed. It's the time for destruction because that's where you create that's creative. It is creative when you destroy because something rises from the ashes. There are many stories about this. Many of the native cultures have stories about this. There's a story about a white raven. There's various Native American stories. Which is all a flood, or the flood. People are feeling apocalyptic. And when this show started, it was based on an apocalyptic vibe, I guess. It was called Lift the Veil, which is synonymous with apocalypse. So, yeah, what we're talking about is a fourth industrial revolution, a fourth turning, and he's talking about a revolution. I mean, it's always a revolution. They'll always pitch it that way. You have to destroy the old system. It's broken. Replace it with a new system. So everybody will come and they'll promise that. Even Donald Trump promised that. But he didn't do it, really, when you look at it. I mean, he didn't even fire Fauci. So even Trump, who everybody says is the savior or the Antichrist, which is kind of like good for people who are apocalypse fiends, like people in the Middle East who have their versions of what's going to happen in the apocalypse. The Muslims think Jesus is coming back too, by the way, with Muhammad. The Muslims, at least, think Jesus is coming back. The Jews' version of the apocalypse, well, we'll talk about that when we get to the part of the show. I'll advertise my store soon. Just don't worry about that. I will advertise. So that's what I was talking about. I was just talking about the symbolism. He's got the same. It's all the same, It's occult. It's a cult. It's occult and a cult. So now we can join the cult of RFK Jr. It's your choice. Free will, not free from consequence. Okay, let me just play more. I'll try to get my muting correct.
An independent candidate for president of the United States. That's not all. I'm here to join you in making a new Declaration of Independence for our entire nation. We declare independence from the corporations that have hijacked our government. And we declare independence from Wall Street, from big tech, from big pharma, from big ag, from the military contractors and their lobbyists. And we declare independence from the mercenary media that is here to fortify all of the corporate orthodoxies from their advertisers and to urge us to hate our neighbors and to fear our friends. And we declare independence from the cynical elites who betray our hope and who amplify our divisions. And finally, we declare independence from the two political parties. And the corrupt interests that dominate them and the entire rigged system of rancor, of rage, of corruption, of lies that has turned government officials into indentured servants for their corporate bosses. We declare independence from these corrupting powers because they are incompatible with the inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that the people who sat in that hallway ratified for us in 1776, 1787. Now we can guard life. How can we guard life when the for-profit corporations have captured the public agencies that are supposed to protect us? How can we enjoy liberty when a surveillance state seeks to hide the truth and to quash dissent? And how can we pursue happiness when debt and low wages imprison so many of our nation's families?
All right. So there you go. That we declare independence from the corporate oligarchy, etc. Very difficult to do. We are all trapped. We are all trapped by commerce, by currency. So that's why I talk about alternative currencies and stuff. That's why I guess why the guy has the XRP hat there. So that's why I'll play from the Bobby Kennedy announcement. People seem pretty enthused about him. Skill lies. Well, he's not a breath of fresh air for the Democratic Party, and neither is Tulsi Gabbard, as you say, a skillies. Who says, I won't be voting for RFK Jr., but I will say he's a breath of fresh air for the Democratic Party. It's the Democrat Party. I guess that's the way we say it now. And rather than Democratic, people say Democrat. RFK Jr. just declared on what I played his independence from the mainstream parties. He declared his, and it's interesting. He has a microphone in front of him, then he's got the microphone on his face too. That's interesting to me. But as far as creative destruction goes and creativity, these people on the left tend to be more creative, although people on the right have gotten very creative as well. But it is more of a left-wing thing to be creative or sensitive in those ways. So they have some advantage when it comes to production and stuff. But people like Donald Trump. Donald Trump's got good production, and he's a creative dude. So that's him. I'll play the intro to the show, then I'll run an ad. Okay, cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. What it is, joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. And I bring you the news, the real news. I loaded up a comment that says having to work to buy food and pay for a place to live is the prison. Are you a communist, sir? Who do you expect to provide for you unless you expect to be able to provide for yourself free of debt, right, to other people? How do you plan to do that? So, and is working so you can pay for your habitat, your terrarium, where everybody's looking at you, where you're monitored full time, perhaps. Does paying for that and food, which provides you sustenance so you can live, is that wrong to pay for those things? I mean, somebody else has to pay for it if you don't have to, unless you're talking about some other reality, which I'm unaware of at this point. At this time, I'm only aware of realities where you do have to pay. You must pay. Even if you own the property, even if you can afford that, you have to pay for it in the first place, or you have to have inherited generational wealth, which helps you pay for it. But one way or the other, like, you can't just be lazy or unemployed like me. That's not doable. So what that means is you guys can donate to the show. You can do that. I'm providing a service. You can donate to the show by going to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil, which you can buy coffees for $5 or you can become a member. But there's like a different tab to donate. I don't have it set up the best way. You can go there if you feel like it, or you can donate in the live chat, like with super chats. And if you super chat, I'll read it. That's the advantage. So you can just super chat if you want, or go to our clothing store, truthclothing.io. I'm wearing our propaganda hoodie today. Let's try this camera out. There. This is the hoodie I'm wearing today because we can't believe the mainstream news. That's for sure. So yeah, when I wear this out in public, people are like, oh yeah, you're right. So they say, I like that shirt. The guy at the pizza place told me he likes our shirts. So I told him, oh yeah, we sell them. So you can go to truthclothing.io and you can pick up this hoodie or a bunch of other shirts, a bunch of which are on sale. The t-shirt I'm wearing under this is on sale for, I believe, $15. The Lift the Veil shirt. So that's cheap. That's really cheap, especially considering inflation. They only buy you like 2 gallons of gas here, believe it or not. Okay, now let me show you, Okay, so let me show you the opening from this news story. Oops. No, that didn't work. Share this tab instead. There we go. So I'm going to show you the opening to this news story on what's going on in Gaza. Lots of bombing from Israel. So yeah, lots of bombing from Israel. So that's what we have going on right now. And I'll show you some of the results. As per, this is like Channel 4 News, which is, I believe, from the UK.
Utter devastation as airstrikes rain down on Gaza today. A resident with a single fire extinguisher forlornly tries to tackle the huge blaze. This is the Jabalia refugee camp. The man filming says the building was a supermarket and that dozens were killed here. Anyone and everyone is trying to help the injured. Using whatever they can find. This is one of the most densely populated places in the world. Israel insists it's only targeting militants. but ordinary people are paying an awful price. In the hospital, dead bodies line the floor. The pain is overwhelming. Bodies continue to arrive, many just children. May God be with our young ones, says this woman. We raised them with love, but didn't get to see them grow.
Okay. All right. I think
Across
that's
southern
good.
Israel,
Yeah, that's a good little intro, 1-minute video. So yeah, that's what's going on. Definitely airstrikes from Israel. Definitely. And then that's in Gaza. I don't know. There's some border activity in Lebanon as well. I try to keep up on everything, but there was Hamas, apparently, it was reported, said that they were going to execute civilian hostages and air each execution via live television. That's what disclosed.tv and a few other places reported. Hamas threatens to execute civilian hostages and air each execution. I heard that they did. I heard at one point when I was listening to the. So yeah, I don't know if they actually have. I will play you though. There are American leftists who really support Hamas. I'm definitely not going to do that. I mean, it runs the gamut from Ben Shapiro to BLM. BLM activists seem to support what Hamas did, including just killing people at a music festival, which I guess they're not denying actually doing. So I don't know if it's not exactly like this event combines many things for me though. I was thinking like January 6th, 9/11, and the Route 91 concert in Las Vegas can combine many of those attributes because they shot up a music festival, and there are stories about that. And I guess they don't deny it. So let me play you some of the clips from the nasty left. Let me play you this one here.
A great revolutionary once said, though, Mao Zedong.
Mao Zedong.
If you have not investigated, you have no right to speak. And that goes out to all these liberal entities, to the Miami Heat, to Bernie Sanders, to whoever else that is not recognizing the right of the Palestinian people to be free. No investigation, no right to speak. If you don't know about the Balfour Declaration in 1917, a great revolutionary once said, though,
Yeah, well, it's true. It's true. There are plenty of bad things you could say about Israel. It is true. Definitely. And there's no way to say those bad things about Israel without being labeled an anti-Semite by somebody. So let me see here. Gaza airstrikes on civilian buildings. Let me play you this. Hopefully there's nobody actually dying in these videos. See, I don't even know if I can show all this stuff about carrying kids and stuff. I think it's okay because they showed it on the other news clip too. So it wasn't showing any graphic violence. It was just showing somebody carrying a child. My microphone's on. That's good. Check this time. So now I was talking about the fourth turning, so I'll tell you that. I'll read you this from Stack Hodler, who must be a crypto account, which says he's is giving notes on thriving through the fourth turning. So here we are, I believe, in the fourth turning. He says, you're living through a fourth turning. Terrible things will continue to happen that are entirely out of our control, out of your control. This is not a new human experience. but our 24/7 acute awareness of these events is. It's up to you to decide what you give your attention, emotion, and energy to. You get one shot at life. When you look back, will you realize you passed your time engrossed in one emotional event after another? Will you allow your screen to dictate your emotional state for the rest of your life? Or will you look up and notice the sunshine and beauty all around you? There may come a day where you are at the center of one of these terrible events. Will you then wish you had enjoyed the relative peace, stability, and health that you once took for granted? We are in a period of enormous change. The monetary system is straining. U.S. military dominance is waning. Artificial intelligence is accelerating. The concept of the nation state itself is under threat. The political class of nations across the world will do whatever it takes to hold on to power. As usual, innocent civilians will be the biggest losers. There will be chaos. There will be war. But there will also be great advances, and beauty will remain for those who seek it. Some people will choose to thrive during this period. They will rise to challenges. They will focus on what's in their control. They will prepare mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially for difficult times. What can you do? Stay positive and constructive. Stay aware, but don't be paralyzed by fear. Negative energy, emotional traps are the quickest way to lose all of your power, so don't fall into them. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Take that advice to heart. And remember that the things you give your focus and energy to will dominate your life. So choose wisely. Yes, I have chosen life, and it is true that if you just look outside, particularly here, there are many things to be thankful for. Like, we're not in the rubble in Palestine, and we weren't at that concert, which sounded like it was like it was terrorized. So we aren't carrying our dead child who just got hit by a bomb. Okay, now you get the reactions from different people. Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, Laura Loomer even. But here's Dr. Jordan Peterson says, Hamas says it's open to truce talks, they said. Jordan Peterson says, we are way past that. He said it with 10 Ys or so, 10 or 11 Ys. Way past that, he says. A truce, that is. So I guess we're not going to expect a truce. Laura Loomer is saying that people have come over the border and that there will be Hamas terrorist cells in America that will do terrorist attacks here now. So she's saying that, and someone is amplifying her saying that. This is the tweet, sorry. Sources telling me there were emergency intel meetings this weekend to discuss the rise of Hamas terror cells that are operating in American cities. These Hamas terrorists came across the U.S. border and are apparently planning to attack major U.S. cities over the next 14 months. Don't know where she gets her timeline from. Hamas has directed their supporters in their telegram to retaliate against Americans for U.S. support of Israel. And then let me show you, I have more video of, and here, Game Tech Politics says rural areas will be fine. It's the major cities that will be hit. This is designed to halt commerce. Sounds weird. That would be an objective, but it's not just death and destruction they want. It's weakness in society they want to take advantage of. And then this guy, Game Tech Politics, says supply chain issues have been calculated to begin in late January, but be major in February. February is when this will all unfold. So there you go. There's all kinds of Nostradamuses out there who'd like to speculate. But so anyway, I'm checking out the chat. Good. People are having an animated discussion, it appears. So those are some of the things that are going on. They say there are going to be attacks in America. Laura Loomer is saying that. I've said the thing about the fourth turning. Let me show you. I had other video. Glenn Greenwald says that Egypt had warned Israel of a major attack coming from Gaza. That's what Glenn Greenwald is reporting. The Times of Israel actually apparently is reporting it. So here. Egypt intelligence official says Israel ignored repeated warnings of something big. So Cairo official says Israel focused on the West Bank instead of Gaza. Egypt's spy chief said to warn prime minister of terrible operation. Netanyahu's office denies this. But apparently the Times of Israel is saying that Egypt is saying that they warned Israel, who said they had no idea this was going to happen, right? That's still one of the most unbelievable things about this whole thing, is that nobody knew it was coming. Yeah, I think there's an argument for people who say that it was that they probably, that they probably did know about it and let it happen. It's possible. It's possible. We don't know. I don't think there's necessarily a way for us to know if they knew about it and let it happen so that they could carry out larger goals. I mean, if just looking at it in the hypothetical, if the Greater Israel Project is the goal and actually just getting Palestinians entirely out of their country is the objective, then, and this attack is like 9/11. So that's why I say it's like 9/11. Is 9/11 was the excuse to do what we were planning to do anyway. So when they say, just like Pearl Harbor and the Lusitania before that were excuses, and then the Gulf of Tonkin also, those things were excuses to do something they wanted to do. So in the sense that this is like 9/11, it could be that it's used as the excuse to do something that they really wanted to do anyway, which is just blow Palestinians to bits, pretty much, but maybe get them totally out of their country. So, all right, let me see what else I have for you. This one, well, I can open it up to the chat if you guys have any questions, and then maybe actually I've gone through the various news. There's lots of video. Israel vows to crush Hamas with a force like never before. After terrorists behead hostages and post. Okay. So yeah, apparently they're threatening. The videos have been posted of hostages being killed. So that's not good. That's not good. That's going to make people upset. I'm not going to watch those videos, I don't think, unless they're fake. But I don't know. They show images. Terrorists behead hostages and post horror videos. They have Hamas. They have also threatened to execute civilian hostages as Israel prepares to launch a full-scale invasion. There's some of the pictures. There's some tanks getting ready. The IDF is massing tanks and troops. Netanyahu raged, quote, children were executed and entire families were exterminated by Arab terrorists. There were atrocities that I would not describe here. Hamas is ISIS, and we will destroy it as the world defeated ISIS. So now the death count is up to 1,500 total, apparently, between Israel and Palestine, or the Palestinian territory. So, yep, that's what's going on in the world. All I can say is try to not get too emotionally manipulated throughout this whole thing, and remember the things you have going for you. So I see people in the chat are just arguing over whether to be communist or not, or whether we should pay for our food. You can grow your food. You're allowed to do that. So I'll open, let's see, I have a few people tuned in on Rockfin. Hey, Dick on Rockfin, appreciate you filling up the chat over there. Who says Bobby Jr. is running for president of Israel. Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to find politicians who are going to be supportive of Israel more than Palestine. Yeah, if you're supportive of Palestine, you'll get called an anti-Semite. So, okay, actually, I'm just going to wrap it up because, yeah, I don't know what phone calls we'll do today. I'm just going to wrap up the show. I think 52 minutes is good. I think we had a nice chill stream. So thanks everybody for tuning in. That's the news update for today. And we'll see you at the next one. Okay, for now, that's what it is.